North Carolina figures out a way to win, keeps its hopes alive for the NCAA tourney by beating Notre Dame. Phew, we can all breathe a sigh of relief. However, semicolon comma, we were just talking about people not hating on the ACC, and Virginia decided to go up to Chestnut Hill and embarrass the family. Let's talk about it on today's show.
You are Locked On ACC, your daily podcast on the Atlantic Coast Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
It was 0 assists in the first half, 19 points only for North Carolina, and yet and still they figured out a way to beat Notre Dame 63-59. What's up, everybody? I'm Candace Cooper. This is Kenton Gibbs. Is Locked On ACC. We are rocking and rolling here at Locked On Podcast Network, and we're so excited for our Locked On ACC family. We are 63 people away from 1,000. Can you feel it? We can feel it. Super excited about that. Kenton is here, and we're talking through some of the big games that went down tonight. If you're listening live here on the show, because we've got a lot going on this week, I am hosting the CIAA tournament. I will not be here for the rest of the week. Should we get some episodes from Kenton? Remains to be seen, but either way it goes. Super excited to talk to you guys tonight.
Yes, you're getting episodes from
Kenton. Wonderful. Tar Heels did what we had to do, my guys. Barely. By the skin of your teeth. You're lucky that you played a team that doesn't know necessarily how to win games this season, doesn't know how to close it out in some tough ones. So I was about to say survive in advance, but I didn't want my buddy here to have a little cry fest. So I just want to sit here and say 19 points in the first half, should have been 21, but my guy did not hit it at the buzzer. Done. However, 19 points, arguably one of the worst halves that North Carolina has ever experienced in this lifetime. It's a little hard. It's a little perplexing. Don't even want to be excited, right, Tony? Listen, I feel this. You don't want to be excited because you're just like, it should be happening. It should be a thing. We shouldn't even have to be talking about Notre Dame and North Carolina being close. And yet, here we are talking about Tar Heels keeping their hopes alive for the NCAA tournament. I ain't mad at it. Kenton, how are we feeling about this win for the Heels?
The Heels needed this. The Heels needed this win.
Essential.
I believe this is were they on the road for this game or at home?
They were in South Bend.
Okay, I believe this was a quad 3 or 4 win, but it was still needed nonetheless. One of the things that needs to happen for this North Carolina team just as much as making a run in the conference tournament or getting the automatic bid outright is no more bad losses. And this was a game that opened up.
No. There is no more losses. No more losses. North Carolina cannot have a single loss. Not a single one.
Yeah, about that. I think that's
very seriously. I don't think that North Carolina can truly afford not one more loss unless they get some help from other people.
And let me say this. This Virginia team looked very bad tonight. They looked very bad. So that's a plus. You're kind of nodding and waving.
You don't want to play a pissed off Virginia who has a really good coach. That's scary.
I'll tell you this. Virginia they've only lost 2 games consecutively one time this season. And in those 2 games, they played the team that is now ranked number 1 in the nation in Houston and Miami. Other than that, after losses, they've been pretty good. They beat Syracuse after a loss. They dominated NC State after a loss. This Boston College loss, I mean, hey, they're coming into the Dean Dome, and, that should be good for UNC. That bodes well for them.
Not always. I will say the 19 points in the first half that UNC scored, very similar to the Virginia score here that we'll talk about in just a moment. So we're used to low offense vibes is what we're feeling for this Virginia and North Carolina game upcoming. But I will say, talking about this Notre Dame North Carolina game, no bench help, 0 assists. 2 points from Puff Johnson, whatever. 0 assists in the first half?
I believe
that's insane.
I believe that the University of North Carolina is somewhere in the 350s in terms of bench minutes played per game.
Yeah, it's terrible. But let's go to the 0 assists. Can we focus on that? I've watched enough basketball this season to understand that you need a little help from your friends. And if you have zero assists, dog, that's insanity.
Well,
Insanity.
I mean, let's
Nope.
be honest. That okay? Well, I'm not gonna say it.
Ain't no coming. That's terrible.
No. I wasn't going to defend that. What I was going to say is
thank God.
that's the perfect microcosm of this team, isn't it? Supremely talented, supremely a squad that you look at and you go, man for man, if we broke this team apart and we said our starting five is playing your starting five in 5 games of 1-on-1, I think North Carolina would be an undefeated, maybe 3 or 4 loss team tops. However, this ain't tennis. This ain't boxing. Actually, in tennis, they got doubled, so never mind. This ain't boxing. This ain't, you know what I mean? This ain't the track runners that's non-relay. This is real deal team effort. Everybody has to be on the same page and gelling in order to make this game happen. Football is known as the ultimate team sport, but guess what? In basketball, it's still 5 guys on the court. So unless one of those guys is putting up 40 plus, you're going to have a bad result when you're looking at guys not sharing the ball, guys not knowing where other guys' spots are in this point of the season to where you hit a guy where his spot is and you can get an easy bucket or two that way. And the craziest part, the part that is most flabbergasting or astounding about this to me is the fact that how do you get 0 assists simply based off the fact that shouldn't you score in transition? Shouldn't something happen to where, hey, we're on a fast break. We just kind of came up on the turnover and we just so happened. How did you not have a single point or a single assist in terms of anybody in the first half finding their teammate? How?
But what's crazier is in any other year, a Notre Dame team would never have let this happen in South Bend. Like, I just think this is a especially bad year for Notre Dame for whatever reason. But my Lord, I was expecting Laszewski to, like, light us up. I was expecting, was it Cormac Ryan? Cormac Ryan, is that what his name is? Yes. Cormac Ryan to do something, have some pride about him. Like, in any other year, Notre Dame makes you pay for this. You don't think so?
There is no pride. There is no pride here. Okay. There is no pride. The Fighting Irish have lost their fight. They have lost their fight. When a team has no assist in the first half, only 19 points in the first half, and shoots a total of 8% from deep.
Ciao. When I saw Pete Nance give that ball up, I said, that's the smartest thing you done all game. My baby, he need help. I don't know what he's going through mentally. I don't know if he's reading the comments or whatever he got going on, but my man has lost his offensive game, and it's tough. It's really, I hate it for him. Even backing down people, trying to shoot, hooks, layups, not making them. It's just terrible sight for North Carolina. But like we said, they win.
This is a team that wants to play inside out, but like Tony Dowd is saying here, they have no out. You need, if you're going to play inside out, the out part means your guards either have to be able to get into the lane and create opportunities to make and knock down good shots, or when your bigs are being doubled and kicking it out, they have to knock down good shots. I'm going to tell you this. Caleb Love looks at any shot the way I look at tall, dark-skinned, thick women, and I'm going to shoot. I'm going to shoot every time, and I probably shouldn't. But with that being said, a lot like me, Caleb Love misses a lot of them. Please, knock it off. Knock it off.
Lord, have you said this back? Lord, have you said it?
RJ Davis, put up your 500 shots a day. Get in your Kobe mode because this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
Survive in advance. That's what we needed from them. Anywho, we got to talk through the other games because this was the most hilarious, head-scratching. I can't believe I'm really about to say this, but Virginia lost to Boston College. What happened? The midway point of our NBA season is here. The college basketball season is close to the end. There's a lot of good things that could happen in the tournament next week. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, 2 weeks from tournament time, who are you going to put your money on? Might as well get a no sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, super easy to use. Then you can bet on everything from money line to point scorers and threes drained. Plus, FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with a same game parlay. So don't miss a chance to get your no sweat first bet. $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. Again, FanDuel.com/lockedon to learn more. Friends, family, come join us as we discuss our recent Wednesday night matchups. We talked about North Carolina and Notre Dame, figuring it out, keeping the hopes alive for the Tar Heels. But we also have talked about in recent episodes how the ACC ain't getting no love. Now, here's the tricky part of it. We can't really say we ain't get no love because we're doing well, we're excelling, we're doing all the things. But now when you embarrass us, Virginia, I'm looking at you, and lose games you're not supposed to lose, top 10 team in the country, now I got to defend the haters. I don't like that. And I'm just sitting here saying to myself, 48 points, that's all y'all could find? But we said this yesterday. We knew this was going to happen. You keep playing with your food, eventually someone is going to take it from you. And that's exactly what Boston College did with 63 points. Mr. Zachary doing what he does best and not letting Virginia get back in the game and putting nails in coffins. And I'm just sitting here saying, number 6, Virginia upset by Boston College. Yeesh. Okay.
You know, I absolutely love this hoodie. It's one of my favorite pieces of clothing now. I wish it had a drawstring. Because the way that I was talking big to the folks who put together the net rating, oh, the ACC, we going to be all right. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. And then one of our top team, according to net rating,
right,
goes on to lose to a team that is in the 200s. What are we doing?
Now, in our defense, ACC, we tried to tell y'all every night you got to give your best because everybody can get it. On any given night, we said, we even talked about the most vulnerable teams, Kenton. The most vulnerable teams. We said anybody is liable to get it. We told you Virginia could play with their food. Clemson, sometimes they can't figure it out.
And this is why I said we don't even have a one team that is God tier and everybody below them. We have a tier 1. We have a tier 1. And Tony Dowd, the question of is the ACC down this year or is the talent scattered everywhere? It's a little bit of both. Yes, the talent is scattered everywhere, but this is not as good as we've traditionally seen. If we look at some of the players that are excelling now and becoming superstars, you take them back a few years in the ACC, I don't know.
They're riding the bench, and that's cool. However, semicolon, comma, we got to live in the now. And what now is, I just want to know what other conferences are killing it. Because if I'm not mistaken, Tennessee, number 11 team, lost 4 out of last 5. If I'm not mistaken, we see top teams fall every other day.
Michigan State just beat an Indiana team that Charles Woodson had.
Somebody.
Or that Coach Woodson has up there rolling, and everybody believed that they were going to be the world beaters. So
hello, somebody. So I'm just trying to say, make it make sense. If we're going to talk about everybody, be reflective of everybody and say, oh, well, every conference and on any given night, why is the ACC suddenly being tripped on from a men's basketball standpoint when you act as if North Carolina wasn't just in national championship, Miami just wasn't in the Elite Four? Like, what are we doing here?
It's because we live in a popcorn microwave society. Everything is, what have you done for me lately? You only funky as your last cut. And right now, this cut that
the ACC was a national championship. How is that a very funky cut?
No. You don't understand. By what have you done for me lately? I'm not talking about we're actually being realistic and looking at, the recent history. I mean, it is so recent. It's what's going on right now. What's happening right now? Are you the best team in the world or the worst team in the world based on what I saw in the last game? Instead of, hey, let's talk about the full body of work here. Let's look at what these teams have put out in terms of their production all year and not just what's going on now. Perfect example, Clemson. People saying that they're the worst thing in the world now. Oh, they're terrible. They don't belong in the tournament. Their net is 85th, and they're just dropping and dropping and dropping. But they controlled the ACC for a great portion of the year. A great portion of the year they did so. So I think that we need to put a little bit more respect on their name. But with that being said, again, it is a lot of folks who are going to criticize and chastise the ACC for the year that they're having. And again, folks like us who have to get up here and defend the ACC are hurt. I call Coach Bennett the LeBron of coaches in the ACC.
He really did.
And what does he do? He says, yeah, I'm the LeBron of the ACC in the same way that Zion Williamson is the best prospect since LeBron. Yeah, I'm that. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And again, shout out to Boston College. You got to show up and win your games too. But UVA, how? Why? Disgusting.
Number 6 team in the country, which lets me know rankings aren't real, which lets me know net rankings aren't real. I just feel like ultimately, we have to look past some hiccups. We said people were going to trip at the finish line. We knew this was coming. This leaves an open door for teams like Pitt, leaves open doors for teams like Miami. It's heartbreaking to think that people talk about us so wrong, but I'm hoping, somebody still squeaks in here. Going to be several teams in the NCAA tournament and shuts everybody right on up. I feel like our teams are going to be a lot better. We're almost like crabs in a bucket, right? We claw each other, we beat each other up all season long, and then we get the opportunity to showcase our talent in the NCAA tournament if we make it. But for whatever reason, the bill is out. I know there was a lot of talk around whether Jim Phillips should advertise us better or ACC Network is terrible, and we can really go down that rabbit hole. But just in case we want other jobs after this, Kent, I'm just gonna table that. That sound good to you?
I'm not. I'll say this. And you know what? I'm not afraid to say it. I don't care whether I whether or not I get the job, whether I don't get the job. If I don't get the job for speaking the truth, I don't belong there. This is an unserious conference in many a way. The ACC Network, the Bally Sports deal, all of it unserious. The fact that NC State tonight was having a moment to commemorate the 40th anniversary of the 1983 team with Thurl Bailey, with Derek Wittenberg, with all of those guys, Sidney Lowe and company in tow, and somehow it ended up on Bally Sports, unserious. Wow. By the way, do you know what was playing on ACC Network when that was happening, when that game was happening?
Wasn't it like the all ACC access show?
A recap of one of Clemson's recent seasons or something along those lines. What are we doing as a conference? Commissioner Phillips, I'm looking at you. The buzzards
He was in South Bend. Give him a break.
They're circling. They're circling. The buzzards.
This is a man who's about to, allegedly. I heard rumors that he's trying to get into the Big Ten. I don't know. I heard the commissioner's leaving. He's trying to find himself a home.
I'll tell you this: if he finds himself in South Bend or in the Big Ten, in wherever the headquarters for the Big Ten is, good riddance, baby. Addition by subtraction. Get your ass up.
No, we don't want that. We don't want that because if he goes to the Big Ten, that means Notre Dame's going with him, and that's not good for our conference. Then our conference is going to go kaflooey. I also think if we're talking conspiracies here, Kenton, maybe everyone is trying to set up the ACC to be bad because they're about to be poached for parts here, and everyone's about to be going to the SEC, the Big Ten, the Pac-12, whatever. We're going to be just dispersing. Big 12, even potentially. So maybe this is all an Illuminati-type conspiracy to get us about the paint.
Let me explain something to you like this. This got to be the longest slow play in this conspiracy there is because the grant of rights has us through what, 2035? Or 20, what is it? 2030, something crazy. With that being said, guess what? Teams are still, the other conferences are still looking around at us and saying, oh, they don't make no money over there. They don't got no motion over there. Them boys struggling over there. They down bad over there.
Poor TV deals. They
got TV deals with Bally. Hey, Bally going belly up. That's nasty work they got going on over there, boy. They network, don't even play their games for real. It's crazy. It's like something I've never seen before. I am telling you right now, this is an unserious operation that is seeping into these teams, and it's the reality of what we're looking at. So, yes, Tony, this is.
Do you think that we're embarrassing? Do you think we're embarrassing the ACC?
I'm going to tell you this. I wouldn't say that they're. Are we embarrassing the ACC? As in us two on Locked On ACC?
No. Is the ACC embarrassing? Like, do you be like, dang, you covered the ACC? Like, ooh, okay.
No. I will say we're not embarrassing from the standpoint of, even with all the stuff that we're talking right now. Fun fact about the net rankings: we are the 7th best conference, I believe. We're probably going to drop based on Louisville. Based on Louisville beating Clemson and UVA losing to Boston College. We're probably going to drop. But with that being said, we still have 5 teams that are projected to go into the tournament as of today, which means that if we have 5 teams projected to go in, and you're not knocking out UVA, you may knock them down a line or two based on seeding, but you're not knocking them out the tournament. So with that being said, the 4th best conference in the nation has 5 teams that'll get in. We're the 7th best, potentially drop to 8th, and we'll still have 5 that are predicted to get in. So I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. The net should be embarrassed. And I'll give you a reason why the net should be embarrassed. NC State winning tonight hurt their net rating. I want to say that again. NC State winning tonight hurt their net rating, because had they lost, the win that they had on the road at Wake Forest would have become a quad 2 or 1. It would have moved up a quad, in essence.
Too many quadrants. These quadrants give me a headache, to be honest with you. But I'm so glad that we have you here to keep this all in tow. And speaking of NC State, as you mentioned, they did win tonight 90-74 handedly. Offense is just clicking. The chemistry is there. The fast breaks, the turnovers, all the good things that you would like to see from a team. It must be nice. What is it like on that side? I would love to know. You don't have to worry about whether your team is going to NCAA tournament. You don't have to worry about if your team is gelling. You don't have to worry about TikToks or conversations outside of what's going on the court. Like, how is it over there? Curious.
You know, we're feeling like it's 83, baby. We're feeling like it's 83.
It's giving 83. It's giving 1983.
It's a great time. We obviously would not want many of the things that happen outside of basketball to come back in 83. Sure. But that is neither here nor there. What we are talking about is a situation where we're looking at a team that is, honestly, and I hate to say this, I hate to be this guy, they're the antithesis of some other teams in the triangle. If you take
but wait. Sorry to cut you off. But is this the ramification of Roy and Kay leaving? It was Keats just waiting for his turn?
Hey, listen, for those of you who watch Avatar, right? I said that this was Sozin's comment. Now, what does Sozin's comment mean for those of you who don't watch Avatar? It was basically the sun was going to be setting in the perfect situation for the Fire Nation to increase their power. What does that mean for NC State here? Everything kind of came together at the right moment for Keats to say, all right, boys, we may have to redesign how we cut this triangle deal here. And this could be a one-off year. That's very possible, right? This could be a year where, hey, NC State's just good, UNC and Duke are bad. It could be that. Or everything must come to an end.
Can y'all roll for at least like 2 to 3 more? Like, y'all think y'all can get okay.
But I'm gonna tell you this. Every great empire had to start at some point. Every great dynasty, every time that a team had sustained success, it first started off as a year. Remember now, when we talked about Clemson football when Taj Boyd was there, it was, this is just a year. This is just a year. We're not really sure what they got. Wait, what? They did it again?
So are you hot taking that NC State's about to be the best team in the triangle for years to come?
I am not willing to give a take that hot at the moment, but I am.
Is it because you don't believe in Coach Keats?
I am saying.
Is it because you believe in Coach Keats?
I'll tell you this. I'm a firm believer, basketball especially, more so than football, not about your X's and O's. It's about your Larrys and your Joes. If you ask me who is Coach Keats a top half of the conference guy in terms of drawing up X's and O's, I would say, oh, Lord, no. Heavens, no. No, not at all. But if you say, is he top half of getting Larrys and Joes? If you say, is he top half of getting Larrys?
He might be one of the best mother junkers out there. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm going to tell you this.
Okay.
Again, everybody keeps saying, Coach Keats, he still ain't doing enough for me. Jarkel Joyner didn't get to the campus through osmosis. DJ Burns did not get to the campus through divine intervention.
Come on, somebody.
Terquavian Smith didn't end up a Wolfpacker when everybody looked at him and said, "Hey, man, you one of the best in the state, buddy. You got to go somewhere else." No, he came to the red and white. It wasn't all those players who went to overtime or went to the overtime elite league or went to the G League. They did not commit to NC State before making that decision out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Coach Keats, when he get to sitting on your mama couch, it may be a done deal. So can this be a situation where NC State is good for a long time going forward? Absolutely. Because honestly, who do you think would do a better job of recruiting you, Hubie or Kevin? I'm just saying.
No. First of all, from a personal standpoint, I think Hubert probably is a nice man. But if you want to talk about someone who could bring that dog out of me, I have to go with Kevin. I ain't gonna hold you. Wait a
minute. Let's take this a step further.
No. But you know what the real reason is? Coach Keys give ice cream, and I'm always out for a good swirl.
Let me tell you this. Let me ask you this: who would you rather play for? Who would you rather believe in that he can get it done? Shire or Keys?
Ooh, give me the ice cream every day of the week.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is this. Both of those coaches started on third base and still ain't hit a home run yet.
Ooh, that is spicy for you. Last game you want to talk about before we get up out of here, Clemson and Syracuse. Last game we want to talk about before we get up out of here, Clemson and Syracuse. Clemson 91-73 victory. Clemson getting back on track, which is what they needed to do. Win handily, beat a halfway bad team, figured things out. Good on Clemson. At least they're helping elevate. Okay, can't say that about the rest of the group sometimes, but at least they're helping put us in a good spotlight. Now, when you talk about pressure, and you talk about having to represent, Duke, used to this kind of energy. North Carolina, used to this kind of energy. NC State, Clemson, Pitt, Virginia, used to this kind of energy. Miami, they did a pretty good job last year. Who's going to be the team that carries the torch as we head to the end of this season into teams that we're going to have to flirt with some other conferences?
Again, these teams, the grant of rights is keeping everybody here. But with that being said, if we're looking at these teams and saying who's going to be the flag bearer, honestly,
just for this tournament, NCAA 2023, who is going to carry the torch for the ACC as it stands here before we get out of here?
This is ugly, and I don't want to say it because I know that the fans they're gonna crucify me for this.
You better not.
They're gonna crucify me for this. But they say the tournament time is about two things: guard play and who gets hot. And I know a team with a backcourt that's electric. I'm talking electric slide. I'm talking. It's electric. I'm talking a backcourt that can flat out get it done.
So hot take. NC State is going to carry the torch.
It's very possible. Very possible.
We like a spicy. Stand on that. Okay.
And guess what? There will be fans coming for me about that take. Oh, you just being a homer. I'm going to stand on business. I don't care what they say. I'm looking at this team and say, hey, listen, they are hot right now. The backcourt is rolling. And not only that, the bigs have come on in a major way right now. I'm telling you, DJ Burns is an animal. Jack Clark start hitting threes out of nowhere. This team is dangerous. And I don't mean dangerous like Russell Wilson, because that's not what we're looking at right now. I'm talking about real deal. Like Tony Dow said, I might not want to play him. Not
you catching strays, not you giving your fellow alumni some strays there.
Hey, I call it like I see it. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna tell you what it is, what it ain't, what it could be, and what it can't. Right now, he on the what it can't. So,
Well, guys, we got to get up out of here, but make sure you check out all of our episodes. Locked on College Basketball as well. If you want to see what's going on around the country, so we can prep for how we're gonna stand on ACC goodness when it comes to getting some dubs here towards tournament time. I'm ready for the ACC tournament as well because it could be anybody's game.
Me too. I was so ready.
Wake Forest can mess around and win the whole thing, get their automatic bid, which they're going to need.
And you're not wrong.
Virginia Tech can mess around and get an automatic bid, which is what they need. You just never know in this bad boy, and that's what makes this all so very fun. Make sure you check us out here. Candace Cooper, Kenton Gibbs. Jack Clark get injured tonight. We saw him in a sling. He went down crazy. It was hopefully it's just, pop that funny bone a little too hard. We're hoping that he'll be all right. But really appreciate you guys listening. Make sure you come back. Again, tell your friends. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm just excited about it. So for Candace Cooper and Kenton Gibbs, until next time.